That no cars are moving anywhere. This road has been blocked off since about 10 o'clock this morning when a group of protesters went into the middle of the road. They linked and chained 7 or 8 bicycles across the road, and then maybe 150 protesters were behind that line of bicycles. And then the police did come in. They sent their police liaison officers in fairly soon after that, just to say to people very politely, you do run the risk of being arrested if you stay here. Then really nothing much happened for a couple of hours or so, and then maybe an hour and a half ago the police moved in and removed the line of bicycles, the first line of defence, I suppose, of the protesters. They retreated, and then half an hour, 45 minutes or so ago, the police moved forward in numbers and they tried to clear the road. Now you'll see they haven't succeeded in clearing the road. What they have done is clear part of the road, and they did make a number of arrests. We're still waiting from the police to get a precise number, but I would reckon somewhere around 10 people perhaps were arrested. Certainly that number were pulled away by the police from the road. It was a very peaceful protest. It's remained very peaceful throughout, but there were a number of protesters who simply refused to move when the police came along, and as a result they were arrested. But as you can see now, it's very calm here. The police probably almost now outnumber the protesters. They've been arriving in increasing numbers throughout the morning, the police. But what you're looking at now is actually the access. That's the entrance to the site. You'll see there's a very large line of police blocking access to the site. Police vehicles as well at the entrance to the site, so it'll be very difficult for anyone to go through. But the reason the police have been protecting the site so carefully today is because the protesters have said throughout the weekend that they plan some direct action today. They said peaceful protests throughout the weekend, and then that might change today. And as you mentioned already, there's been the protesters at the office of Quadrilla, the developers of this site, and their office in Lichfield as well. So at the moment it's calm.
James, we mentioned there in the introduction that they had stopped test drilling. Remind us what it is that the protesters now want.
Well, that's a good question, because you're right, they have achieved their objective here. I think what they're trying to do is what they're succeeding in getting today, and that's wider publicity for the anti-fracking protest. Now, at the moment there isn't even a licence to carry out fracking here, so Quadrilla, the developers here, say if that were to happen, that's still a long way off, but there's no work of any description taking place here. And this protest I think will carry on tomorrow as well. I've just been handed a statement from Quadrilla actually as I speak to you, just confirming that protesters broke into their Lichfield office today. They harassed our staff and chained themselves to filing cabinets. Police are on site. The statement goes on dealing with this, and the Quadrilla say we condemn all illegal direct actions against our people and our operations. So definitely a difficult day for Quadrilla, and a difficult day for the police around here as well, trying to keep this road open. But at the moment it seems that this road is going to remain closed for the foreseeable future.
OK, James Pearce for now. Thanks very much. Thank you.
It's 17 minutes past 2. These are our headlines on BBC News. And Scotland Yard faces questions about why officers detained David